Altevrse Season 1 Action.
Wait. I need a countdown.
Altevrse Season 1 in 3, 2, 1 Action.
Altevrse Episode 1 Success. You get me?
You wanna hear the song from above?
Charles in the hat.
Hey, welcome to the MTV Cribs. We about to go outside and I'm about to show you.
Marz, let's breathe real quick. 1, 2, 3.
Alright, Otters speeding.
One more time.
Nice 478. Ooh, that second one hit the spot. Just nice.
Nice.
The speeding.
All right, Mix.
baby.
Let's get a countdown. Actions on you.
Alright. Altevrse Episode 4 Action.
Wait. I need a countdown. You don't just, there's no action just like that.
Great way to start.
Altevrse Episode 4 live in 3, 2, 1.
Yo. What's up? Welcome to another episode of Altevrse. I'm your host, Heaven Shamba. And right now I got my brother Marz Benjamin in the building, fresh from outer space, man.
Hey.
How you feeling? Wait,
I feel great. Hey. Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing today, man?
Hey,
Fresh
I'm
in
great.
LA, you know?
I'm great.
Fresh off the plane.
It's been ridiculous, my guy. Absolutely insane, dog. Like as soon as I dropped off,
Yeah, nonstop movement.
man,
Movement.
Kinesis.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, man.
Man,
It's
so
been incredible.
it's crazy. So where'd you fly in from?
From Houston.
From Houston.
Yeah.
Nice. So you currently live in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, I do. Yep.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
But are you from Houston?
No, I mean, I grew up in Houston, but originally I'm from Nigeria. I'm from Lagos,
Nice.
So I think my family moved around 3, when I was 3.
Yeah.
We moved to Jersey at first. I was there for about a year. That was pretty cool. It was too cool, very cold. So they moved down south to Texas where they could get some heat.
Did you just rap? That's
Somewhat,
crazy.
Like I kind of.
That was a bar. Just on the slide, he said it was too cool. It was cold. Yeah. Okay. Writing that down. Put it in my rap book.
Yeah. We got to put that on the punchline. Yeah, that was amazing, bro.
Nah, but that's fire. So tell me a little bit about moving from Nigeria to Houston. And I mean, you went to Jersey, but I guess the main cities you stayed in were Nigeria to Houston, right?
Yeah.
So what was that transition like for you?
I mean, I was so young, so it's not a lot I can remember. I just remember just like a great, damn near call it a great escape kind of situation. But no, it was I mean, I was pretty young, and my dad, he's an architect, so he had like business up here. My mom, she's a nurse, so she had work up here. It just kind of made sense. And I think back then they used to do this lottery thing for like visas or something, and we actually won the lottery.
Y'all won the lottery.
That's how we got.
That's
here.
insane.
I didn't have to do. Yeah, I didn't have to do any paperwork. So
That's
every time
so
when people
lucky.
talk to me about green cards and stuff, and I'm like, I wish I could help, but I don't know too much about it, you know. So, and I wish I could help you, dog, but man, that was such a blessing. I mean, you know.
Wow. So that's destiny. So you're supposed to be here, bro.
Man,
Yeah.
I am the chosen one.
Yeah, you're supposed to be tapped in. Wow, that's
Hey.
crazy.
Trying
So,
to help him, man.
because it's interesting, because I feel like I kind of relate to that perspective. And like, I was born in Zimbabwe, moved to Texas as well at a
Hey.
young age. And you could tell me if you relate to this, but even though we were in the United States, I think back, like in your house, there was a lot of those African values and like African culture that was being instilled in you and taught to you. So how are you able to navigate this dual kind of relationship with society and with reality?
You know,
like, how did that go for you?
That's a good question. I've noticed that a lot of people, well, a lot of Africans coming to the diaspora, they kind of have that. It's like you kind of get detached. You're not sure, especially when you move at a young age, like you said. You're not sure where you're like, who you associate yourself with. But I guess in my household, my parents first generation Nigerians. You know, things were cutthroat. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You know, straight to the point. You just kind of naturally find that balance, and I think that's something that's unique of people who kind of immigrate into the U.S. We just kind of have to find that balance.
Yeah.
Once you get home, you gotta be like, parents.
Yeah.
You gotta be. And then once you're out there in school or outside, you kind of relate. Kind of find your equilibrium.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Would you say you had a hard time fitting in or had a desire to fit in? Or what was your experience going through those formative years, like the elementary school, middle school, high school?
Yeah. I won't lie, man. I feel like it took me a long while to kind of find a connection with the current state of things, First of all, just like how things are way different here. Everything's a little more fast-paced. Everything's, modern, high-tech, and everyone's moving at different speeds around here. I don't know. I actually went back home for the first time in 11 years last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, first time in 11 years. And I wasn't even expecting to be like, to have a culture shock, because I'm like, yeah, I've been around my parents, like they speak to me, and all that. Like I know stuff, Yeah. And I got there and I was completely lost. So, it's it's crazy, but I also think it's necessary to just like have that rooted connection, because at the end of the day, that's where we're from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it wasn't easy, but I think that finding people like you, finding other people who are in that same scenario, it helps, because we do have a little community,
Yeah.
So
it ain't easily done. It
ain't easy, man. It ain't easily done.
It ain't easy.
We got to talk about how that came about. What we got going. So
yeah, we'll get there. But it's so interesting for me to hear you say that, because I feel like even in like my experience and that same thing as you, I think I feel like for us that's kind of a superpower in a way, because you find your way to merge these cultures, and you find your way to develop your own way of like maneuvering society,
Exactly.
And I think that way of maneuvering society is beautiful, because you're humble enough to understand your beginnings and where you come from, and you're also driven enough to understand the sacrifices that were made, or how blessed you are to be in this position, because you can look back home, like you probably went back home and saw this and that, and you're like, wow, I'm so happy that I got to be myself, and I got to be the one chosen here. And you don't play with that,
right?
You don't play with that essence, you don't play with that position, you don't play with that energy. So I feel like there's like a certain level of seriousness, like you see us smiling, but there's like a certain level of seriousness that's internal.
It's deep rooted in all of us, even when we don't know it. You could see it all around. We got friends who are in that same boat, and it's like, you got to stay locked in. You got to stay tapped in at all times. You got to stay tapped in. Yeah.
No, that's beautiful. And that, I think another thing that's a superpower about that is how it relates to your music, right? So like, when I listen to your music, okay, you could tell me you could tell me what you think about this. But I was thinking, and I was like, bro, this reminds me if like the 2010s like neo soul movement in like the Chicago / East Coast area had a baby with Kanye West, right? Okay. Like Graduation to My Beautiful, like Kanye West had a baby with him, and that baby was born in Nigeria. Like when I listen to your music, like that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, wow, these are so many different dynamics. So I want to hear about that journey. Like, how did you even get your start in music?
Oh my God. So the first time I ever listened to any track, I think I must have been like 4 or 5. 50 Cent in the club. Just right, you know. I mean,
Wow.
great song though. Awesome
Wow.
song.
I feel
yo.
like we always
Iconic.
talk about 50 Cent, right?
No way.
Why does he always come up, bro?
No,
I feel like
right?
he's came up in the last 3 interviews. That's crazy.
That's insane.
Might have to sponsor this.
Shout
Sponsor
out
this.
Curtis Jackson.
Right?
Shout out Power. For real.
Shout out Best Fest.
Dude. But no, yeah. So man, funny story about this music thing. So a friend of mine, he's late now. We were really tight. We were best friends actually before he passed. He super tech savvy guy. Like he's always on his laptop, always like up to date on the latest programs, like all the stuff that like no one was really thinking about. Like all I want to do is go home and play video games. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing like that. But this dude was always coming by with his laptop, and he always had a brand new PC game, a brand new some type of software thing, and boom, 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 boom. And then one day he comes around and he opens his laptop. It's like FL Studio. I'm like, what is this? Like, you can use this and make beats and stuff. And I'm like, bro, this was such a foreign, like, I don't even, I've never really thought about like the idea, the concept of like actually making music. But I listened to a lot of good stuff growing up. I listened to ABBA. I listened to 50 Cent. I listened to a bunch of like early Kanye West, like a lot of really great stuff. Just cause like living in the U.S. and also the fella, you know, a lot of like deep rooted like Igbo cultural music, you know. So like that mix, and then just being curious about that, trying to find some type of identity, you know, just being lost, being in between the two cultures. You don't know if you want, you know, if am I American? Because like, you know, I'm around here, and then I go home and I feel a certain type of way. And music was just that thing that I don't know why, but music is so relatable, man. Like it's almost, sometimes you listen to a track and it's like, this person literally has been through the exact same thing that I went through. And that just kind of piqued my curiosity. So yeah, he brought that thing up and I was like, all right, let me check that out. I got the software, put it on my thing, started with the kick and the snare. You know how it is, one thing at a time. And then next thing I'm like, oh shit, I can make some grooves. Like, I just made a beat. What's going on? And like back then it was like, no one's really doing it. Everyone's just like out here, you know, playing PS2s back then, you know what I'm saying? So that was probably my first time just like getting into music. And this
so you made a beat before you even rapped?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just out of just
so producer first.
Yeah, producer first.
Nice.
Yeah. So fast forward, now, you know, I'm out here in LA doing big things, songwriting, making beats for tons of amazing, talented people, featuring, collaborating with a lot of amazing, talented people. And, you know, rest in peace, Rotimi was his name. R.I.P. Rotimi.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah.
man. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
He put you there.
He put me on.
What was your first sound? Like, what genre were you creating?
It was hip hop at first.
Okay, nice.
It was straight hip hop. Just cause, I guess the first type of sounds I was listening to at the time, and that's just me trying to connect with, you know, the current culture, Jersey culture. So, yeah. After that, I felt like I was losing my African self. And that's when I started trying to like blend the two together and try to, that's how I started getting experimental, I would say. Cause I was like, I love hip hop, but I also love Afrobeat. I also love the sounds of like the motherland, like stuff like that. So how can I get the two together? Cause I think that's where I reside for the most part. Yeah. And that's where all the experimentation happened.
Yeah. In this range, that's your own, you know?
This awkward realm. Yeah.
And it's like so interesting because something that I love about your music is it feels almost like a safe space to like explore your imagination or my imagination. Like when I hear your music, I feel like I'm sent to Mars, you know, like yeah. But I feel like I'm sent to Mars, you know.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
I want to know, what's your relationship with your imagination?
Ooh, that's a deep question. It's. I don't think I've ever like functioned without it. I think at every instance, especially when it comes to music making, that's something that you initially want to tap into, right? The imagination is limitless, and I think that that's what makes music so unique, because of the infinite nature of imagination. You can't present a track to me that is like everyone else's. It's like a fingerprint. Like no two are the same, no matter what, even if they exist within the same genre. So the imagination is very powerful in that sense. You're at every single time that you touch the mic, every single time you hit that MPC, you're creating something that's never been done before, even though you think it sounds the same as someone else's. You know what I'm saying? So the ability to lock into that is I think is pretty powerful. And I mean, I don't think I can be creative without my imagination. So we're like we're locked in for life.
So that's, you
Locked
go
in for
through
life.
life with that just there, present,
man.
in every
Every realm,
situation.
in every situation.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I
Yeah.
think that's really important. And it's so interesting, I think, how things come like in a circle when you pay attention to what life is saying to you.
Oh yeah.
Because it's so crazy. So like really, 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 really real. And now I'm talking to y'all. Now I'm telling y'all a story. But really, really real. Yesterday, right? I was in a store and there was a man, right? He was an Asian man. And he looked young. He looked like 48 to 50. And for some reason, I just like conversating with people. I don't know. It's just something that I like to do.
That's dope.
And I was talking to him and he was like, how old do you think I am? And I was like, I don't know, like 48, 52, you know, to 52. And he started laughing and he was like, thank you. And him and his wife were there. His wife looked the same age. And he was like, I'm 76.
What?
And I was like, my mind was blown. Mind you, this guy looks so young. He's moving fit. Like when I think of 76, I think of somebody that's like, you know, encroaching that age. Yeah. And I asked, I'm like, yo, what's your secret? And he was like, breathe. It was like, you take a deep breath, you hold it right there, and he was like, breathe. And you whenever you feel yourself going off your path, you always bring it back to center. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy because that thing, breathe, the later on in the day, I come here, I pull up on you.
Oh, yeah.
We're tapping in.
Hey.
We got the cyber truck on the roof, you know what I'm saying, flexed up. You're shooting a video for a song that you made years ago that came back to fruition.
Yeah.
And now we're in the studio. And we just, literally last night, we cooked up Breathe in the studio yesterday. But it's like paying attention to those
key moments.
Yeah, those
man.
key moments.
Yeah.
It adds up and it creates this magical thing, you know? Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, this is something you haven't heard. Really real moment right here. Another side to that story. So I don't know if you were listening or not, but shout out Darce Beats. Go check him out. Super cool, super talented guy. So he was talking about how he went to the park to make beats for the day, you know? And one of them beats was something that we just so happened to kind of lock in on. And that happened because, unfortunately, he lost his wallet. Okay? So he was at Whole Foods. I pull up on him I didn't pull up on him, but we went there to grab some food, right? And with Gaza, shout out Gaza.
Yes, sir.
And so we meet up with him, and he's like, oh, he's so excited to see us because we had met like 2 days prior. So he's like, oh man, crazy to bump into you guys at a Whole Foods from like nowhere, you know? And he loses his wallet in that place, and this was after I offered to like get food for everyone. So it was just so weird, right? But anyway, long story short, he goes, because of that, he got super frustrated. He goes to the park. We don't know the name of this park. This is some mystical park because whatever he cooked up in that park was absolutely insane. For real. For real. So, because he took all that frustration and anger and put it into this beat, right? And then came to the studio with it. And because of that, we made this song called Breathe.
Yeah.
And it's like, now from all those key moments that you had, the fruition moment being in that studio, he had like his whole cycle of like just shitty situations, I'd say, and puts it in a song to bring to us. I mean, that's just insane. To me, I don't know. I think it's insane
It's real.
how everything is just kind of like coming together in a
Yeah.
sense. I don't know. That was wild.
Yeah, give me a.
But yeah, man. Shout out Doris.
Also, this is funny, but I think Gaza snoring.
Oh.
Yeah, I think. Can you wake him up?
Oh,
I heard it peeking in the mic. I was like, do I hear a snore?
Nah, I ain't gonna cap. My ears are trash. I didn't hear that.
oh, I didn't hear it at all.
Bro, my ears are sensitive to the max.
Oh wow.
Nah, but we're good. But so it's so interesting. Last week I was in Dallas, Texas, and I was in the hotel, and I was listening to your project, Starwalker, and I was looking out at the scenery, and the music felt so lush and luxurious. This is your most recent project, right?
Yeah.
And it's so
is.
interesting because I feel like I hear your progression there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's lush. Everything hits the ears so beautifully. And it's like the perfect blend of like the hip hop you were talking about mixed with the Afro, mixed with this R&B. And I was just like, yo, I know this guy, bro. Like I know the guy who made this. So I just want to know, what's your favorite song on that project? And like, what was the process of creating something so...
Okay. That's tough because I have two, but I have to narrow it down to one.
Yeah, narrow it down to one,
Yeah.
and then tell us your top two.
Yeah. Okay, so my top two would have to be Don't Wait for the Monster.
Yeah.
You like that one?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. That's a good one. Man, talk about a late bloomer, but that song is
an understatement.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That song is incredible, but that song takes it's a close second. But my favorite has to be Matinee. Matinee is just kind of...
Wait, hold on. He just had me in the first half. I thought you said Don't Wait for the Monster is number one. I was going crazy.
It's a close
He
second.
just had me in the first half. He said Don't Wait for the Monster. I dapped him up there. It's a close second.
Oh, man. Now I feel bad. Oh. No, but it's a close second. And I mean, you understand why.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're different people, too.
Yeah, exactly.
So they relate to us in different ways.
Yeah. So, no, Matinee. Matinee was... Matinee is it's probably my favorite. First of all, Matinee was the first song that I made when I switched my DAW. So yeah, I had a great transition moment. You know how from FL to Ableton Live.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
so that was my first track.
Dang.
Yeah.
What up, bro? You're cold, bro.
Appreciate that.
Because there was no learning curve.
There was no
It was
learning
like you
curve.
took all the skills and were able to execute them immediately.
Some of the stems from Matinee were actually bounces from FL Studio. Yeah, that's how. Yeah. So, but I've completed everything with Ableton, and that was my first track. And I just love how, like you said, lush, luxurious it is, and the lines just kind of. When I wrote Matinee, I'm thinking about just. Everyone talks about the super glamorous chick, the girl that everyone wants to be with, the one that's in the spotlight, diamond dress and, fancy and everything like that. But Matinee is just about a female who goes on her day-to-day life. You know,
Yeah.
she's the everyday hustler. She's fighting for her family. She's taking care of her siblings because things are just difficult, and she has to move in with her mom and just try to figure things out because she's just that type of person who cares for her family. That was what the song was about. So someone who's not really into like the pop and the glitz and the glam of like everyday fashion and the lifestyle and the speed of like the current economy and things and all of that, and she's just
Yeah.
and I don't know, I found peace writing that. I just felt like I was connecting with someone who doesn't get talked about a lot when it comes to music.
It's so interesting you're saying that. It's for like the everyday woman, or the everyday person, but everyday woman. Because whenever I hear that song, it sounds like a song that was supposed to exist. Like, do you ever hear a song and you're like, yes, like this song was supposed to be in the world? It's like so fresh, but yet so familiar.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I've heard this song in a dream or something, like as a kid, or on like a TV show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it gives me that type of vibe. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I love the cover art too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like you always go crazy on your cover arts.
Yeah.
But they're
I
always,
try.
like everything is, the quality is just pristine.
I try. Yeah, that was shout out my sister Leslie. That was shot on her camera. We rented out this spot down in Houston, just like a little studio, and put some things together and took that shot. Did a little slight edit.
Wow, you and
came
your
up
sister.
with that. Yeah, Star Walker.
Yeah, resources.
Yeah.
Gotta utilize the resources.
I'm telling you, it's amazing to have supportive people in your life. It is absolutely amazing. Like people who want to see you thrive, and I am so very grateful and blessed to have my siblings and my friends who are constantly supporting me and helping me throughout this journey, this whole music career. I mean, it's been amazing.
Wait, how many siblings do you have?
I have 3 siblings.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm the first child.
Oh, you're the oldest.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Mr. Responsible.
You know how it is,
Mr. Locked In.
Yeah, the second dad. Yeah. And I have 2 brothers, and I have my sister.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're like the protector of it all.
I try.
Yeah.
I try to maintain the chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes me ask,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't even know that about you.
Oh.
So like, what's something about Marz Benjamin that people wouldn't guess? Like off rip, like listening to your music or talk, like what's something that people wouldn't guess about you?
Well, first off, the name. I feel like you would think Mars, you're thinking, oh, Mars, planet Mars, or like he's gonna take me out of space. And yes, I do take people out of space. I've been known to do that. But the name is actually very, very significant. More significant than you think. So Marz, M-A-R-Z. You think about Mars, right? M-A-R-S. That's the spelling for Mars. Mars is actually French for the month of March.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, Mars is
snap.
Janvier, Février, Mars.
Hey.
March is the month I was born. Okay? And Maurice, which is my real name, is French. Yeah. So there was just
So it's a triple entendre.
It's a triple entendre.
This man did bars with his own artist name, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Wow,
that's
crazy.
something that like people would probably, unless I
Yeah, I
tell you,
wouldn't
you
have
wouldn't.
guessed that.
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually so fire. Wow, bro.
said-
The French though, it makes sense why your music sounds so
This is so luxurious.
lush. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's because even your name, it's a French name. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I love
it's a
that.
French name. Yeah.
And you were speaking on something earlier that I actually want to like dive in on, because as you know, like for the last year, there was a time like me, you, Helen, Tize, we would all get on the phone and we would like lock in, like whether it was weekly, bi-weekly, at least
I
once a
remember
month.
that, yeah.
We would tap in and we would make goals, check in, talk about consistency. And it's so interesting because you're a person that does it all and can't do it all by yourself, right? You produce, you rap, you sing, you mix the music, you can get the cover art done. So you have all the tools to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Yet you still made the conscious decision to
Step outside.
Yeah, to step outside and enjoy the company of others. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I know there's probably somebody out there that's probably doing it alone and like feels like they should do it alone.
Mhm.
What do you have to say from your experience about the importance of teamwork?
You need to step outside your box. I think as much as you think you can do it on your own, you're just one level below what you really could get to.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how skilled you are. I always thought that, you know, if I learn the ins and outs of this particular thing, I don't need anyone to, you know, to do this for me. I can just do it by myself. But you're forgetting a different perspective. I mean, we only can see in one field of vision, right? You don't know what's behind you at any given point in time. You can only see forward. So having a different perspective, having someone who is just as creative as you in the same room. I mean, look at what we did yesterday.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
In the same room and just like giving a different spin on something that you would ideally attack a certain way because you, in your mind, have said, yeah, I can do this by myself. I got this all figured out. I'm telling you, it puts you in a box. For the longest time, I think 2019, 2020, COVID era, you know, distance and all of that. I was doing all of this stuff on my own, and I just felt like my music wasn't gaining any traction. And as soon as I got a call from a friend of mine in Nashville, it was off of a random song. He hit me up. He was like, "Hey, man, I love this song of yours. Come out to Nashville." And I'm like, "Who are you? I don't know you from anywhere." And I told my siblings about it. They were like, it's kind of dicey, you know. Someone hits you up randomly on Instagram, tells you to come to Nashville.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Spend 3 days. I'm like, But I'm glad I stepped outside that box because of that I was in a studio where Adele made her album.
Oh wow.
I met 2 Grammy Award-winning engineers. I mean, I had the time of my life. I saw so much hardware. I saw so much music, different genres, just different things. And I'm like, man, it's really important to really find people to work with, man. And that's helped me. And that's the reason why I'm here now, really, you know?
Yeah, teamwork.
Teamwork
makes the dream work.
It does, man.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
It does.
No, I love that. And it's so crazy, like, speaking on the fact that you do everything. How are you able to stay focused enough to do it all at a high level? Because I think it's easy to get like,
to get
you know,
sidetracked.
yeah.
Hey, I'm not perfect. I definitely have those moments, man. I mean, I have moments where I just have that brain fog. You know, I sometimes don't want to do it. I can 2 times within probably the past 2 years that I was like, you know what? I'm just going to quit this. I'm going to sell off my equipment. I'm going to just not do this again because I don't know. It's just it's a lot to handle. Going to school, having a job and all of that, and still doing music. You know, trying to get all this stuff. You know how difficult it is. So, I just kind of wanted to hang up the towel at some point. But when you have people who are actually looking forward to your music, people who kind of motivate you and will tell you, "Damn, your music touched me a certain way." Like this, don't stop it. And it's usually at the moments where I'm at my very lowest. So I would say that keeps me, that makes me know that like, A, I got to keep going, 1, and 2, you're actually doing pretty great. Yeah. Like even though in yourself you think, oh, you can't handle all of this. Yeah. The truth is that you have been handling all of this. Yeah. You're maybe either, you know, you have those low moments, you know what I'm saying? Like life is a roller coaster. You're going to have moments where you just don't feel too great about yourself, but having that teamwork, that connection, you know what I'm saying? And people telling you, "Hey man, lock in." That's what we did last year with consistency. You know, those weekly calls, I'm telling you, like, I don't think we would have gotten Told You So done if we didn't have those weekly calls. Constant reminders, you know? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Helen knows. Yeah.
Helen knows. I remember, actually, I was sitting right here. I remember one day I woke up and I was like, man, I got to record my verse to Told You So right now. I recorded it right there.
Oh, what?
Yeah, the hook. I did it right here. I put the microphone on this. I put my laptop here and I just held the mic and I just did it.
Man, insane.
Yeah, that's
that
crazy.
Song is insane.
That's crazy. So I want to know, whenever you create, do you feel like you're creating to escape, heal, or to tell the truth? Or is there something that I haven't said here? Like, what's your reason for creating?
It's definitely all of that. Maybe not all at once, but a pair or a couple of them at a time. But sometimes I'm also creating to reach out. Like I'm essentially
reaching out. Sorry.
Shout out MJ. Yeah, that was epic. But no, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes it's like, is there anyone out there? You know, is there anyone else like me that like just deals with certain stuff like this? So put a little bit of pain out there and see like if anyone connects with it. And yeah, that's a primary reason. And that's, I mean, I've had people who reached out to me on some obscure song that I don't know, I never thought it would even like get to anyone. They're like, oh, they understood this line, or this really gravitated with them, or they really resonated with this one bar or this one verse. So I kind of like to do that a lot, like just see who else like feels this pain or feels this passion for a thing, or feels this love or feels this hate, whatever, and just kind of come together and let's kind of listen to my song. Let's talk about it. Yeah, you know, reach out to me.
No, I love that.
Yeah,
and it's interesting also, because another thing that I love about this new era that I'm watching, like as we were talking about the consistency calls, because I feel like everybody since then has leveled up. You know what I'm saying? Because like right now we're sitting here, we're doing this, but then on the back end they don't even know, but they will know. But you, Helen, Gaza, y'all been working on Put Me On, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's been, I've loved watching you explore yourself outside of music. Like creatively adjacent, but like exploring, okay, what else can I do? You know? And kind of like leaning on your people to kind of figure out, you know, what can we do? Like, what's the best idea that we can get to here? You know? I feel like that's been a very beautiful thing to observe and to be a part of, you know? And like, I want you to know that the same way that you're saying, for me too, like those calls, they strengthened me. Every time I call you, bro, even sometimes I'll just be feeling down.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, yo, what's going on? And I'm like, yo, let me just FaceTime Marz real quick.
Hey.
I don't know what he's going to say, but we're going to, you know, this synergy here is going to pick us up. And when I hang up this phone, I'm going to feel full, you know?
Yeah.
And so I just want to say thank you. Thank you for that. Because it's important to have people around
You're always
that,
welcome.
you know, uplift, give you some energy, give you some light, you know what I'm saying? And like, you're definitely one of those people, 100%, bro.
I appreciate that.
100%.
I appreciate that.
Yo, almost like, that was almost a perfect closing that I almost want to close it there, but I'm not because we need to play a game. But I almost feel like, whoa, I love that. Yeah. I feel like I want it to be like, and signing off. But I'm not. Because we have our segment here, right? Okay. And it's called Rapid Fire Questions. Oh. So I'm about to ask you 10 questions and do not think about it. Whatever the first thing that comes to your head is, I just need you to answer. Just like that, straight like that.
Okay.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Okay, let me breathe.
Breathe. Just breathe. Freestyle.
Tell him just breathe.
Just breathe. Yeah.
All right.
So, if aliens came right now, right, and you can only play them one song to represent you, what song are you playing them?
Ooh, Matinee.
Matinee? Okay, nice. That was wow. That was off the top.
Yeah, Matinee is.
You sure you don't want them to not be afraid of the monster? Okay.
No. I mean, there's nothing to fear here. It's all peace and love, aliens.
Nice. Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, who is your biggest musical influence?
Oh my God, right now, Tyler the Creator.
Tyler the Creator?
Yeah.
Is that overall though? Or just right now?
Right now, yeah. Not overall.
What's overall?
Ooh, overall. I'd say Kendrick maybe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I like his consistency, and I like the fact that he just
The delivery.
his pocket deliveries are amazing, and he can sing with rapping. I don't know, he can tell you a beautiful story by rapping, and it's like, man, you ever seen a guy rap R&B or rap soul music? Like, that's Kendrick sometimes.
Hard. Okay.
Yeah.
What's one thing that brings you peace?
Quietness.
Quietness.
Yeah.
What's one thing that brings you
Anger.
Yeah, what makes you feel like
Oh man, traffic.
traffic? Valid.
That's very bad.
And coming to LA, bro, I know you've
Oh
been
man.
But hey, traffic's not bad in a Cybertruck though. You know?
I mean,
hey,
you can stand.
Hey.
Hey,
you know what I mean? Hey. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's funny.
if you could destroy one platform forever, are you destroying look at his face. Are you destroying Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter?
TikTok.
Okay,
I'm
why?
sorry. Nothing against TikTok. I just don't use it as often. So it's like, I mean, I never used it
Yeah,
anyway.
we need to have a conversation about that afterwards.
We do. This is gonna be a good talk.
Okay, Apple Music or Spotify?
Spotify.
Okay, nice. Valid. You saved yourself there. You saved yourself. Yeah. She's an Apple Music girly. She has to think about the song. Every time she has to play a new song, they have to think about it. But actually, let me not talk down about Apple Music because we don't know what's gonna happen. So I'm just gonna.
Hey.
Okay, if you had a walk-in theme anywhere you went, like anytime you stepped in a building, like a song played, what would that be?
Creed 2, Rocky Balboa. Da-dun-dun.
Wow.
Da-dun-dun.
That's lit.
Da-dun-dun, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, but what happens to when you go to visit your grandmother and that's playing?
Hey, she's just gonna have to get energized. Like,
What happens when you walk into the church and that's playing?
hey, what's up, pastor? What's up, pastor? Hey, happy Sunday.
Okay,
Hey.
one conspiracy theory you low-key believe.
That the pyramids are way more than they are.
Okay, that's
you
valid.
think they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you low-key thought about that quick. I was trying
Yeah.
to curveball you with that one.
No,
you've been studying.
I dibble dabble in a
Yeah,
little bit.
nice.
Yeah.
And then last question: what cartoon character do you relate to the most?
Cartoon character. I don't. Courage the Cowardly Dog.
What? Wait, why is that interesting?
He sees his fears and he just kind of goes after it, even though he's like super scared. Yeah. Except the part where like he runs to his family and like blah, 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 blah. No, not that part. But I don't know. He
Also, okay, sorry. But I don't want to ask this to every guest, but I just want to ask you for some reason. But dinner with Jay-Z or 500K?
What did you just say?
Dinner with Jay-Z or 500K?
Oh, it's got to be Dinner with Jay-Z. I don't know why. Because he can put you on to things that he can. So if we're talking about, wait, listen. We're talking about. Wait. You gotta think long term. 500K is not gonna get you dinner
Okay.
with. Oh, are you guys kidding? Oh wow, that's funny. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
Wow.
I can't lie, bro. There's never a wrong answer, but
I think there's some things that are more valuable than just straight cash.
Jay-Z said take the money.
Take the money.
Really, he said that? Damn it, Sean.
He said, why get the money?
I mean, I'm here thinking like he's gonna like put me on to something or.
Some new lasagna, maybe.
Oh wow.
Okay. Okay. and then so I do a thing where the last guest leaves a question for you, right? And so the last guest, he said, is who you are when no one's looking who you want to be?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a firm believer in integrity. I'm never gonna try to fake misrepresent, misinform, none of that. So even in the deepest, darkest corners of my bedroom, I'm the same guy that you'll see right here, right now.
Yes, sir. Standing on truth, man. Y'all heard it here, Mr. Marz Benjamin, man. You got anything dropping soon?
Oh, yeah.
Anything you want to plug it real quick?
A lot of stuff.
He has to ask a question for the next guest.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I got to do that?
Thank you.
Oh.
You're
Yes.
fired.
Yes.
Go back.
Okay.
You have to leave a question for the next guest.
Oh,
What's something you'd like to
let's
ask our
see.
next guest?
Let's see. Is there anything at this very moment, being whatever moment they're currently at, that will take you away from your drive, your passion to be whatever, if it's an artist or a business person or whatever? Is there one thing or anything or a group of things that could take you away from your drive? Just want to
Yeah.
if there is.
I love that.
If they have something, then they failed.
Nice.
Essentially, just let them know that they failed. Yeah.
Nice. And then, yeah, let us know what you're working on, man. What's coming soon?
Oh man, Ooh, it's a lot this year, man.
Anything.
2025.
Anything we can link for you.
Well, right now, chemistry. Shout out Vici. Chemistry's coming out in about 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
On the 18th. That's gonna be a pretty big song. We
Nice.
got I'm producing with Helen and Gaza. You know, we're doing
Nice.
PMO. It's a little startup that we got going
Yeah.
on, and
So.
yeah, a little song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been going great. It's been amazing. So excited for that one to drop, and then. I mean, we
Nice.
might have something going on too. It seems
Yeah.
like, you know.
Yeah.
We hit the
Know
studio
what I
yesterday. We
mean?
came up with
Yeah.
some magic. you
Yeah.
know?
You never know
So,
what'll happen.
yeah.
Fire.
But no, all through this year, just expect a lot of stuff. Summertime, we have Drifter.
Yes, sir. I was waiting. You I was just like, you gonna sing?
The reason why we got the Cybertruck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason why, man, that is crazy right there. I mean, that's maddening to me. Like something that I wrote and now like I'm actually living it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's real, man.
But yeah, we got Drifter. I have this song with this amazing artist called Wimby Taro. She's a British R&B artist. That's coming out late September, hopefully.
Nice.
So, and
This
a
man
bunch
finna
of,
make us put 10 links.
but don't worry,
10 links.
link in the description or
Yeah.
wherever this is gonna be. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll
Now we're linking all of that, man.
Yeah.
Yo, Marz Benjamin,
Yes,
y'all heard it
yes,
here
yes.
first. The man himself. Yo, thank you, my brother. That's been another episode of Altevrse, and we
Hey.
signing out.
Yes,
sign
sir.
out. Nice,
Nice.
good stuff.
I love it. That was fire.
That was
y'all.
fun. That was actually pretty fun. I ain't gonna lie.
You wanna hear the sounds from above?